Today's Lions news, we are covering the roster, the 53-man roster, the practice squad. The Lions claimed 2 players off waiver wires. We're going to get to those players. They added a safety as well. We're going to talk about that safety, what those players bring to our Detroit Lions. We're going to talk about the players that we released. Were they claimed by other teams? And a former Lion that we've talked about many times on this channel signed with another team. So let's go ahead and get at it here right now. All of the Detroit Lions players that was released, not a single one was claimed. Now, a player has signed with another team, but initially none of them were actually claimed by another team. So all the players that we released are a free agent now or probably signing with another team. And we're going to get into the one signing right now because there's one player that specifically signed with the Carolina Panthers, and we've been talking about this player on this channel for 3 years, and that is Hendon Hooker. He actually signed with the Carolina Panthers, and he is going to be on the roster over there. So the Lions released him. He goes to Carolina behind Bryce Young. It actually kind of makes sense, the same type of system, and Dan Campbell spoke to the media before releasing Hooker, saying that a change of scenery potentially could be good for Hook. Well, guess what? I think he's actually in a pretty good situation over there. Mobile quarterback for the Carolina Panthers. Plus, Bryce Young does get injured. So maybe he'll have an opportunity to play over there. Now, knowing that the Detroit Lions, all the players we released, have the ability to sign in the practice squad. So, are you happy Jackson Meeks is back? Because, yes, he signed back with the practice squad. And here is the folks that are signed currently while I am recording this video. It's going to change, right? You can have 16 players on the practice squad, but while I'm recording this, 2 p.m. Eastern time, we have 4. Jacob Sailors, super excited to have him back on this team. That even makes the depth of the running back room absolutely ridiculous. He's going to be on the practice squad. If we have any sort of running back injuries this year, the Lions are solid. Solid 1, 2, 3, 4, and practice squad with Sailors make it 5. I love it. I like to have some more of it. The Lions going to run the football. Jackson Meeks back in Detroit, 6'2" wide receiver, did phenomenal in preseason. He's going to be on the practice squad. Now, we traded Tim Patrick, and maybe with the year on the practice squad, Meeks will be able to join the active roster in 2026, or if there's injuries this year, he most definitely will be able to see some playing time. We bring back Tom Kennedy because Tom Kennedy it seems like he is death taxes and Tom Kennedy on the practice squad. He's been here since 1900s. Tristan Colin comes back to Detroit, developmental lineman for the Lions. Now, I talked about it earlier in a video. I just want to jump on here to make sure if folks hasn't seen that video that the Lions did sign a safety as well. Daniel Thomas, formerly of the Jacksonville Jaguars. He is more of a special team ace, but he will be joining Brian Branch and Kirby Joseph, player that can help out depth, but most importantly, what he is going to be utilized is special teams. He is a 5'10", 215-pound safety who's only played sparingly on defense, but he has been considered one of the team's best special teamers for years. He has logged a total of 1,184 special team snaps in 5 seasons, including at least 230 in each of the past 4 seasons. He basically played on every special teams unit, including the all-important gunner spot on punt coverage. His play earned his 2-year extension after his rookie contract was up, but was released in the Jaguars' final roster cuts this week. I'm fine with him. Special teams is something that the Detroit Lions love to have, a great unit there. And when you're trying to win a Super Bowl, everything matters on the team because a lot of things got to go right for you to reach the Super Bowl. It's not just offense and defense. You got to have great special teams. Last year, the Lions special teams unit was one of the best in football, and it gave our offense great field position, and it forced opposing defenses to have long ways to go for their drives. So the importance of having good coverage, kick return, punt return, and no flags on special teams is important. May not be the big as we see in regards to offense and defense, but we got to show some love to that unit as well. And that's just the way it's got to be, right? We want all of the units to work well. Before we get into the players that the Lions claimed, question for you. Grade the claim of edge Tyrus Wheat, because we're going to get into him right now. A, B, C, D, or F. Tyrus Wheat, who the Detroit Lions just picked up from the Dallas Cowboys, going to help out the Detroit Lions a little bit. Wheat went undrafted in 2023, and he spent the previous 2 seasons with the Dallas Cowboys. There he made 20 game appearances for Dallas. His rookie season, he played mostly in special teams, logging 197 snaps on unit. The past year, he logged 165 defensive snaps, managing to parlay that playing time onto 14 tackles and 0.5 sacks. Look, the Detroit Lions need help on the defensive line. We know this. This is something that the Lions need to get. Wheat can come in here, help pay edge for the Lions, because we need edge help significantly. Wheat, he can do that. Someone that can give more dimensions to the Lions. You already know this. The Lions love their tweeners. He's a smaller guy. He should be doing, let's see if he can develop and be a situational pass rusher for the Lions. We'll see what they could do there. Next player that the Lions picked up was big body Tyler Lacy. Tyler Lacy, 4th round pick of Jacksonville Jaguars out of Oklahoma State over 2 seasons. Lacy played in 28 games and started 8 for the Jacksonville Jaguars last season, and totally produced 37 tackles, 3 tackles for loss, 4 quarterback hits, but 0 sacks. Lacy is certainly the mold of a tweener capable of playing on the interior and edge. In fact, his rookie season, he split his time nearly evenly between defensive tackle and defensive end. However, last season he played almost exclusively in the middle. You know how the Lions love their tweener players, and Lacy is going to be just that. Help out, especially with Joshua Pascal not going to be ready for the Lions week 1. Kind of reminds me of that. And I like the fact that the Lions are getting defensive help, defensive line help, pass rush, get to the quarterback, bodies, and we just added 2 more. That is good. The Lions have still ways to go in regards to getting ready for week 1 and these guys to get prepared because they just got here. But it's not like they're not in shape. They're in training camp. So all they got to do is learn the schemes, get the players and all that stuff, and produce for us when we need them to produce. But the Lions got help on the defensive line. So I'm going to take that as a victory right now. We needed that. The Lions, they got 53 men on the roster now. It is now complete with the safety and the 2 defensive linemen. Also, there was a rumor going around that the Lions were going to trade for Adam Thielen. I thought that was the most ridiculous rumor of all time. It didn't make any sense considering the fact that the Lions were great at wide receiver, so why would they do that? With that said, he is back in the NFC North as he's traded back to Minnesota, so he is back in the division. Not like I'm really worried about that, but I just thought it was funny because for whatever reason, we got put in the rumor that he would get traded here, and I'm thinking of all the positions that the Lions needed for this team, and getting veterans players, wide receiver was not one of them, so I just thought that was a funny one. But I got a question for you. Grade the claim of Tyrus Wheat, the player we just picked up, A, B, C, D, or F. Give me your thoughts in the comments below. overall, let's get into the thoughts of the 53-man roster and everything that took place. Just go ahead and put a cap on it since we've been talking about it for weeks now. I think this is a good roster. I think it's a pretty good roster here. I think the defense is lit. I'm excited to see what the new players can do on the defensive line, how they slowly get worked in there. It's not like we need them versus the Green Bay Packers, obviously. We got depth right now, but just to see they develop. Remember, Al-Quadin Muhammad we picked off waivers, and it worked out well. So it's good to see that we continue to turn rocks and to see that. So I'm excited to see what the new guys can do. But I think this is a strong, strong roster. We picked up safety like we needed. We picked up some defensive line help like we needed. We're set at 53. And I just thought the crazy part is none of the Lions players that was released got claimed. So we claimed some players. None of the players we released got claimed. Hendon Hooker goes to the Panthers as he signed there. And the Lions still have opportunity to build the practice squad out. We got 12 more spots to go. Maybe that could be another video after this one. Maybe I'll do another one when the practice squad is set so we can go over each player and talk about it. But the depth chart on this team is solid. It is very solid right now. You should be happy how the team looks. It's still, there's nothing perfect. No team is perfect by any stretch of the imagination right now or ever, unless you're just like the perfect team. But every team's got issues. The Lions, they don't have that many holes on this squad for the 2025 Lions. It's a pretty good squad. Pretty good team right now. So I'm really ecstatic to see how this plays out this year. Can this team win the Super Bowl? About to find out. With that said, folks, adios.